obsolete, Mr. Wordsworth.
Lie. No man is obsolete.
It's a cookbook.
Who are we?
When will they take the bandages off?
You're a bad man. You're a very bad man.
This lemon sucker here. He's the most suspicious of the bunch.
My name is Talkie Tina, and I'm beginning to hate you.
I believe you're going my way.
Live from Willoughby at the heart of the Twilight Zone. Here are your hosts, Alex and Tyler, the prestigiously perfect podcast in which we call the Twilight Zone.
What is up, Gnomies? I'm Alex.
And I'm in!
Welcome to the Twilight Gnome Podcast, episode 107. What episode are we going to be discussing this week, Ty?
This week we have Spur of the Moment.
Season 5, episode 21, original air date, February 21st, 1964. This was written by Richard Matheson and directed by Elliot Silverstein, who did 4 episodes of The Twilight Zone. We only have one left. Are you ready for his?
Let's hear him.
He did Spur of the Moment, The Trade-Ins, The Obsolete Man, and Passerby.
All right.
Obsolete Man's like the only really good one.
No, I like the trade-ins a lot. That was a fun one.
Maybe. All right, Ty, we'll jump right into it. What was your favorite moment?
My favorite moment was the shot of Anne, or older Anne, on top of the hill with her like cape drawn on her horse. Cool shot. I mean, that's really all I could think of. That was a good moment from this episode.
It was very hard to come up with a favorite. This episode is like, there's nothing great about it, but there's nothing that's like, it kind of just is there and exists.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say again the same. I guess the kind of plot twist is kind of cool, but the shot's cool. I just feel really bad for the horse that had to come down there. You could see it was like, I'm coming to get you, and then it takes like 10 minutes for the horse to come down that steep ass hill.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing watching that poor horse.
We have the technology to rebuild him.
Doctor, what have you created?
I am, for all intent and purposes, AI Serling.
Now it's my time to shine. Every week I put a prompt into myself and come up with a little Rod Serling style intro. Being a metaphysical Rod Serling myself, I am quite the expert, and this week I came up with this. Picture, if you will, a young woman on horseback, racing through the night as though pursued by something terrible. Perhaps a ghost, perhaps a curse, or perhaps her own future life choices catching up at full gallop. Tonight's tale concerns impulsive decisions, missed opportunities, and the horrifying realization that sometimes the monster chasing you is just you with worse judgment and a mortgage. And here, in this dimension, we face an even stranger terror. 2 podcast hosts about to analyze a story that suggests the worst thing you can run from is responsibility, and the worst thing you can chase is youth. So tighten your saddle, check your life choices, and prepare to outrun regret. Though, spoiler alert, in the Twilight Zone, regret always runs faster.
Very nice, AI.
Now, if you gentlemen don't mind, I'm gonna clock out and go talk to my past self. Maybe tell him to not join a certain podcast.
Do whatever you gotta do, dude.
Maybe I'll go hit on that AI Julie Newmar.
Godspeed, AI Serling. So every week, Tyler and I come up with a few questions for each other, keep each other on our toes while watching said episode. Again, incredibly difficult for this episode.
Very hard on this one. I still managed to pull out 4 somehow.
4?
But...
I got 3, so I guess I'll go first. What's Anne's dad's name?
Bob.
John.
The first person the dad calls says to bring who with them in search of the woman?
Jeez. Phil.
The gardener.
The gardener.
Says, bring the gardener with you.
No. What is Anne's fiance's name?
Bob.
Yeah, Robert, yep.
Yes. My next one, what does Bob do for a living?
He's a, stock executive or something.
He's an investment banker.
All right. What day does this take place on?
The engagement party, like back in the past?
In the past, yeah, that day. What day is that?
June 13th, 1939.
Yes, congratulations.
That was one of my last questions. And then my last one, how old is Anne?
When?
In the
30s? In the future?
In the future.
46?
43.
Damn it. All right, I thought she was like 14 or something in the beginning, I believe. All right, we'll jump right into the plot of this one here then. We open on a shot of a young woman going out to ride her white horse. They live in a nice compound, a big mansion we get here. She takes the horse out for a ride. She gets to the bottom of this valley-looking thing. She looks at the top of the hill, sees a black rider, a woman in black, and she's got a black horse, and the woman yells at her and then charges down the hill, but it's very awkward because it's
hard
slow.
to charge.
You could run away.
Well, yeah, it's hard to charge down a hill, but then also like very ominous and spooky. Like you just look up and there's like this figure with a billowing cape just like yelling. And from young Anne's perspective, it is very hard to tell what the hell she was screaming about at first.
Right. And this obviously scares Anne. She runs away, and Rod brings us in.
This is the face of terror. Anne-Marie Henderson, 18 years of age, her young existence suddenly marred by a savage and wholly unanticipated pursuit by a strange nightmarish figure of a woman in black, who has appeared as if from nowhere, and now at driving gallop chases the terrified girl across the countryside, as if she means to ride her down and kill her, and then suddenly and inexplicably stops to watch in malignant silence as her prey takes flight. Miss Henderson has no idea whatever as to the motive for this pursuit. Worse, not the vaguest notion regarding the identity of her pursuer. Soon enough, she will be given the solution to this twofold mystery, but in a manner far beyond her present capacity to understand. A manner enigmatically bizarre in terms of time and space, which is to say, an answer from the Twilight Zone.
Very long Rod intro for season 5.
And very wordy.
Right. So Anne runs back to her house. Her parents and her fiance see the whole thing of her coming in. They can tell that she's obviously upset. And they're like, Anne, what happened? And
there was a woman and she was chasing me and she wanted to kill me, which the whole she wanted to kill me is completely inferred from her. Like, you have no idea. And I think her fiance even points out, like, are you sure? And he's like, she definitely wanted to kill me.
The mom says, John, you got to do something. So the dad picks up the phone. The mom and the fiance try to comfort her. And they're in the living room there. And obviously, Anne's very upset, and she's, why would this woman do this? What was she doing? And the boyfriend kind of makes a joke, like, maybe she was trying to warn you not to get engaged to me, so we kind of get that there's engagement.
Which is also a very good red herring, because watching this, you might think, when you get to the part where later on, where like you're trying to decide, okay, like, she obviously thinks that she made a wrong decision in her love life, but we don't know yet who she ended up going with. This is kind of like the little red herring of like, oh, she probably went with Bob and shouldn't have, and she's regretting it. I like that. It was a nice little nugget to put in there.
Right. Her dad gets off the phone, and he's like, don't worry, honey, we'll find her. The dad says, what did she do, and what was she yelling? And she's like, I don't know what she was saying, but she was clearly saying her name. Like, especially like if your name was Anne for 18 years of your life, when someone's yelling, Anne, you'd be like, I'm pretty sure it's yelling Anne.
It wasn't a very clear Anne, though. It was a very like hoarse, no pun intended.
Hey.
Her voice was very hoarse and like kind of screechy, and like I could definitely see like caught up in the moment, not being able to distinguish what exactly she was saying.
The doorbell rings, and they continue their talk, but we hear commotion at the front door, and the butler's fighting with whoever this guest is. We find out it's David, an ex-lover of Anne's. He's like, oh, no, I gotta talk to her. Come on, I gotta talk to her.
I need to hear it from her that she wants us over, because I know it was the family that told her to break up with me.
Right, the dad's like, you gotta leave here, David. And David's like, no, let her make her own decisions. I need to talk to your daughter. David grabs her and says, it's not too late. In front of her fiance and everything, making her fiance kind of look like a bitch. But also, I don't know. The fiance is in a rock and a hard place because you don't want to just start beating the shit out of this guy too, because then Anne would be like, you're a monster. Anne sucks.
Yeah, she really. This isn't the part that I hate most about Anne. That comes later. But yeah, overall, just Anne is terrible. But she gets even worse later on in her 40s.
Yeah, David says, tell me you don't love me, and then I'll just go. Anne doesn't say anything. The dad says, you have 1 minute to get out of here. And David says, I love you. I've loved you my whole life, ever since we were little kids. So we kind of get like that they've were a
known
thing.
Each other, a long time.
And I'll play a little bit of this because David kind of lays it on the line for her.
Please, Anne, please marry me. We always knew we'd be married. Even when we were kids, we knew it. You belong with me, Anne. You...
Please don't.
Hi, Mr. Mitchell. Get out.
I'm not through yet.
You're through.
Anne, please. Anne.
David.
He punches the fiance right in the face. pow, right in the kisser.
And the dad pulls a gun on David, and he's like, "You get the fuck out of here." Which, David sucks. Like, already this guy's a huge red flag. He does stuff like this, and like, I
mean, I don't entirely hate David yet. I mean, I get like they were with each other for a very long time, and it's probably tried to imply that the family made her kind of break up with him, and like he's trying to go to her and say like, "Hey, I know you're getting engaged. You have your engagement party tonight, but like, please rethink this. Like, I don't do it just because your family wants you to do it." I can kind of see it from like a typical rom-com sort of standpoint. From there, I can see something like that happening.
For sure. I mean, I definitely also like feel like I've been in David's shoes too. Like, every young love thinks that it's gonna be like, this is it, we're getting married.
Yep.
It's at this point that Anne decides to run upstairs. Her mother follows her. The dad and the fiance kind of drag David out, and David's like, "You'll be sorry." And then we get this cross dissolve, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it kind of looks like rippling water.
And then we see the Black Rider, but she's arriving at that same house.
But the house looks a little different. There's not as much furniture. It looks a little bit more dilapidated. And
the first time you saw this, were you like, "Oh, this is obviously Anne too"? Like,
yeah.
That's the hard thing with these. I don't know if it's because it's in black and white or just like they pick people who are very generic looking. You're like, is this supposed to be the same lady?
No, I think it's very clear. I mean, they didn't really change her much. Her aging makeup was very minimal.
True. Yeah, she's a little bit angry, it seems like. She pours herself a drink. Her mom comes down the stairs. She's like, "The lawyer phoned again. They're gonna take the house away from us, Anne." And Anne's like, "I don't give a fuck." And she's like, "I didn't grow up here. I grew down. You guys squeezed me with a velvet glove."
This is what I hate most about Anne. She starts to shit on her dad, who's dead, and like she's like, "Oh, like he didn't raise me to. I was always his baby and coddled, and he never like."
I think
taught
she was
me.
being facetious in this.
No, I think she's being
think so?
100% genuine. I think she genuinely blamed her dad for her own choices because I think she's the kind of person that can't take responsibility for her own actions. She hates that she chose to go with David instead of Bob, and instead of internalizing and being like reflecting back and say, "Okay, yeah, I fucked up. I made the wrong decision." She is one of those people that just cannot take responsibility for their own actions, and so she's being like, "Oh, it was my dad's fault. If he had only raised me to be like a better judge of character, I wouldn't have made that bad decision."
I couldn't tell if it was that or the other side of the coin where she was like, "Yeah, no, I get it. I'm just a spoiled little rich girl. I didn't get any lesson learned because I didn't have to work for anything." I feel like it could have been that though too.
No, I definitely took it more the first way where she's just an incapable person of learning from their mistakes.
Her mom slaps her. She, in return, slaps her mother. We obviously understand that the father has died at this point, and the mother says, "After all your father gave you," and she's like, "I know, and then I made that mistake that ruined my life. Do you know what I saw today? A ghost." And I'll play some of this because she's like, "Remember when I was 18 and I came home saying that lady?" Which, that would be kind of creepy. Like, you remember that?
That is kind of cool. I do like that twist.
I went out riding today. Out where I usually go, beyond the meadow. I was on a ridge and I saw this young girl ride toward me. Me, Mother. As I looked at 18. Do you remember the day of my engagement party? Do you? June 13th, 1939. I even remember the date. You remember how I came in terrified because some woman had attacked me, and Daddy, dear Daddy, had them search for her in vain. Well, I was that woman, Mother. I am that woman.
It's at this point she says, like, "Remember what Robert said about that warning? Maybe that was a warning." And then it's revealed because her husband comes into the room, and who is it?
It is the other man that she left him for, David.
It is. That is a pretty good plot twist because obviously you're like, "Oh, she's going to marry the rich guy that her parents wanted for her." And I do like, because it is probably more realistic if you run away with the high school sweetheart guy. It's probably going to be more like this.
Yeah, I like it. I like that it kind of breaks tradition and it kind of, you don't expect it because so many other movies and TVs go with the trope of like, oh,
like The Notebook and stuff.
Like I regret going with the bland guy. And
Titanic, fucking so many movies are like that.
Yep.
And it obviously works out in their favor, but in real life, I feel like it would probably end up more like spur of the moment here.
Exactly.
David comes in and he's like, Daddy's gone. I'm the man of the house now. But Anne kind of laughs it off. And
Gotta give me a respect. Must have my respect,
it
Anne.
was super weird. He's got like all kinds of 5 o'clock shadow. They both seem to be pretty hammered. He's like, I'm your true love. And we get another cross dissolve, and we're back in the 30s again, the night of the engagement party.
I want to know, do you think she regrets marrying David because he didn't make a whole lot of money and that's why she's all upset? Or like, do you think he was genuinely a bad husband in other ways? Because like, from what we see of him, he seems to genuinely love her, and it's just because they're losing the house and that they're poor. So like, is she literally just mad like, oh, I can't believe I married the poor guy and now we're poor? Like, oh, if it wasn't the actions of my consequences of my actions catching up to me.
I can't really tell. This kind of is the bad part about this episode. I don't really understand what she wants, because if she wanted the love that and like you said, it doesn't seem like that whole respect thing kind of makes it seem like he's probably a dick. But
yeah, but it was also a little instigated by her too, because like he walks into the room and she immediately starts shitting him before he says anything. Like, it's hard to tell without seeing more of their dynamic. But
they both kind of seem like losers though. So.
Yeah,
but yeah, and it's at this point, like I said, we get the cross dissolve. We're back in the 30s, the night of the engagement, and Anne is outside, and her fiance Robert comes out, and he's like, "Hey, honey, how's it going?" And she should probably kind of care less. Daddy's fucking. What he says something about your dad throws a good party. Yeah, he always gets what he wants, or something like that.
Yeah, like he's always happy when he's gets what he wants, because like he's obviously wants her to marry Bob instead of David.
Right. Her fiance goes back inside, and then David kind of appears out of nowhere, flags Anne down. Come on, come over here. And I'll play some of this because he wants her to run away with her.
David.
Oh, Anne, my Anne, I love you. I love you. Come away with me.
Oh, David, I want to.
Now, Anne, now. Decide. There's no more time.
Oh, David, you are my true love, my adored one. Make me happy. Please make me happy.
I will.
Yep, they run away with each other. The fiance comes out, Robert there, and he's like, what the heck's going on? And we get another cross dissolve. We're back to present day. Older Anne and Dave are talking to each other. She throws a glass of alcohol in his face and runs outside, gets on that black horse, goes for a ride, and finds herself on top of the hill that we saw from the beginning. But of course, this is from the opposite perspective. She looks down and sees the younger version of herself, and Anne! Which now we know she's hammered too, so yelling at her, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, that is good, but overall, the idea is really neat. Like, I like using time travel as a metaphor for, like, regretting past mistakes and wanting to go back and fix them, but how the
characters are just
change.
So unlikable.
All of them are. They're all unlikable.
And then Rod takes us out.
This is the face of terror. Anne-Marie Mitchell, 43 years of age. Her desolate existence once more afflicted by the hope of altering her past mistake. A hope which is unfortunately doomed to disappointment. For warnings from the future to the past must be taken in the past. Today may change tomorrow, but once today is gone, tomorrow can only look back in sorrow that the warning was ignored. Said warning, as of now, stamped not accepted and stored away in the dead file in the recording office of The Twilight Zone.
And that's our episode. Tyler, what'd you learn?
When approaching your past self, don't run at them like a crazy person.
Definitely not. We'll get right into ratings. IMDb currently has us at a 6.9 giggity out of 10. You want to go first? Or you want me to?
I think you should go first. I think you have it a little lower than me.
I don't know. I love The Twilight Zone, and when I think of it like as a whole, I'm like, this show's a 10. And I really, I want my average to be at least a 7, but I'm not going to just give things high thing because I want that. Originally, I was going to give this a 5, but the characters on rewatch, this is my second and a half rewatch essentially, and Anne just is so unlikable. David sucks. I do enjoy the message a lot, but I'm either gonna crack down on a 4.5 or maybe the 5, but I don't know which one to do.
Which one you going with?
Looking at my other I have Big Tall Wish as a 5, and I'd much rather watch that than this again. I'm gonna ask 4.5.
All right, I'm gonna give this one a 5.5. There's a clear message about how we can't change our past no matter how much we want to, and I like the fun time shenanigan part of it, and it's a good twist with the ex-boyfriend being the one that she ends up with, because I totally did not expect that. But overall, it's a bit boring, unoriginal, and yeah, the characters are really unlikable.
Who are they? Where are they? What are they? Let's find out together in the Twilight Gnome presents Inside the Twilight Zone.
All right, so this week we have Diana Hyland. She played Anne. She was an actress from 1955 to 1977 when she sadly passed away from breast cancer at the age of 41. So she didn't have a whole lot to her IMDb credits, but she did have 2 episodes of Hitchcock Hour, 1 Green Hornet, 2 episodes of The Man from U.N.C.L.E. She did 59 episodes of Peyton's Place, and she did 1 episode of Happy Days. And she was actually dating John Travolta when she died, and apparently it's rumored that she pretty much died in John Travolta's arms.
Oh, wow.
Then we have Marsha Hunt. She played Mrs. Henderson. She died in 2022 at the age of 104.
Wow.
She had 118 credits to her name from the years 1935 to 2008. She was in 1 episode of The Outer Limits, 2 Studio Ones, and a bunch of movies from the 30s through the 50s. And then we have Philip Ober. He played Mr. Henderson. He was in North by Northwest, 2 episodes of I Dream of Jeannie, 1 episode of The Munsters, 2 episodes of I Love Lucy. Very little trivia on this episode. Diana Hyland was actually 27 playing the 18 and 43-year-old, and this episode takes place in 1939. But other than that, I mean,
I guess it makes sense you'd pick someone in between the 2 ages. That way it's not drastically one way or the other.
True. And then there was a little bit of breakdown in the Martin Grams Jr. book about how much things cost. Like, it was like $25 a day to use the mansion and stuff, and I think it was like $50 or something for like the Rolls Royce, which was no one even used. They just kind of had it in the background.
Yeah.
In total, this episode cost $61,452. The director received $1,750, and the cast received $8,119.
What'd you say your name was?
What's in the name, Mr. Benedict, really? It's a mere question of semantics. Just language. A mere stretch of words.
So every week, Tyler and I come up with a few alternative titles to the episode we are watching. You guys can do so as well if you want to leave a comment for next week's. I have 3 this week.
I got 5.
All right, I'll go first. And I have the Decision Debacle.
I have the Discarded Warning Debacle.
All right, you want to do another one?
I also have Unheeded Warnings.
I have Heeds of the Dark Rider.
Running from Your Past.
I have Woman in Black.
Go Chase Yourself. And my last one, Wherever You Go, There You Are.
Nice. What about switcheroos? I have 5 or 6.
I think I have 6 or 7.
I'll go first again. Then Nightmare as a Child.
No, I have The Chaser.
I don't have that, which is crazy. I have The Lateness of the Hour.
Nope, I got Back There.
Yep, I have that. I have Long Distance Call.
I have The Passerby.
Nope, I have 2.
No Time Like the Past.
Nope, I have Valley of the Shadow.
The Encounter.
Yep, I have that too.
And my last one's a bit of a switcheroo, The Howling Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. You are now about to penetrate the Twilight Zone.
All right, so every now and again, if Tyler or I have a porno parody title name, we will come up with one, and
Ooh, come up with one.
Hey, kind of goes with this one. I think we're probably going to be on the same track with this one, because I could think of one literally in the moment.
Yes.
It's pretty easy.
I
on
actually
this one.
have 2, but one of
All
ours
right.
definitely have in common.
You want to try you'll do the easy one at the same time here?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Sperm of the moment.
Yeah.
Yep. And my other one is Sperm on a Hose Tits.
It doesn't even rhyme.
Moment, hose tits. It
All right.
doesn't have to exactly rhyme. It's close.
Oh, it may be better, it may be worse. The Twilight Zone did it first.
All right, so a couple different references for us this week. Starting us off, a direct reference to a 2006 episode of Gilmore Girls called The Perfect Dress, where Lorelai describes this episode while explaining the anxiety she feels about her own upcoming marriage. Then there's also a 2005 episode of The Simpsons called Future Drama, where Bart and Lisa see their future selves with warnings about how current behaviors will shape outcomes, echoing kind of this episode's cautionary future self dynamic. And there's also a South Park episode called My Future Self and Me, where future versions of the kids show up to warn them about their futures.
Doesn't it turn out to be actors, though?
The one doing Butters and Stan are actors, but then at the end there actually is like a future Cartman that comes back and like says like, oh, like, look, you became this big success because you stopped like doing all this stuff. And he's like, screw you, I know you're just an actor. And then, but that actually was his future self, so he ends up kind of fucking over his future. And then last but not least, we have the 2014 movie Interstellar, where Matthew McConaughey's character goes through a wormhole at the end, and he's like looking at his past self, kind of like banging on the walls, but he can't really like quite talk to him, trying to like tell him not to leave and like don't get on the spaceship.
Mr. Chambers, don't get on that ship.
And that's it.
All right, so every week Tyler picks the episodes. He does so by showing me an AI-generated picture. I have to guess what it is. I play a little game here. And we are in a block of time travel episodes. This episode 3 or 4?
This will be our third one.
Time travel. So it's a time travel episode. It's not going to be season 4, not going to be season 5.
Correct.
So that's, what's that? 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah, that's how it works.
I'm going to keep guessing execution until it's season 1, and it's most likely going to be that, because I think there's only 2 more time travel episodes in that season.
Sounds about right.
All right.
All right, ready?
Yeah. Oh my goodness, this is one of my favorites. Buster Keaton in Once Upon a Time.
That is correct.
I remember at the beginning of this episode, or the series of our podcast here, you saying that you did not like this episode. You get silent, it sucks, but it's pretty awesome, ain't it?
Yeah, also it's not silent the whole way through, which helps. Like if that had gone on the whole length, like I respect them paying homage to the genre, but like if that had been the whole episode, I'd be like, okay, fuck this shit.
Awesome episode. After 3 kind of stinkers, in my opinion, I am very excited for No Time Like the Past, which I think some people might think this one's a stinker, but I love this one. We have Cavender going, don't touch my tools.
Yeah, I forgot how like little small jokes there were in there, and like there's a scene where he's
roast beef for 2 cents. This is outrageous.
I like the one where like the cop is looking for him, and so like the bigger guy stands in front, and they like match their walking stride.
It definitely is a love letter to the silent film era, and it feels good. I like that.
That's what I just said to AI Julie Newmar not 5 minutes ago.
It sure does. I love the time helmet. I love the campiness of Twilight. When Twilight Zone is campy, when it's got like, that alien looks stupid, like that's the stuff I love about this show.
Yep.
I don't know about you, but
You are about to receive a message from the 5th dimension.
All right, so we have 2 different messages here. First coming up, it is on one of our top 10 videos, and the comment is from David Fitchett. And David says, I agree with this list in that Night of the Meek is my absolute favorite heartwarming Twilight Zone episode. I cry nostalgic, happy tears every time I watch it.
Can't go wrong. Twilight Zone, Art Carney, Christmas. It's pretty awesome.
Very good episode. And we also have a second comment on our episode, The Fugitive, and that comment comes to us from SFCA, and SFCA says, you could see it as her marrying the alien to be a queen, but you could also see it as the alien stays as the girl, so they not only had to bring her with them, but they both rule the planet.
Yeah.
Very true.
All right, a little bit of housekeeping. If you guys could please continue to like and subscribe. I see we have a couple more subscribers. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Twilight Gnome family. And if you guys could also give us some more comments, we love hearing from you guys. It really makes our day knowing that there's even a couple people listening to this. It really is. We look forward to doing this every week. We would do it even if there was no listeners, but having the community aspects really helps out a lot. And like I've mentioned before, I had I know that probably quite a bit of followers of the Twilight Zone might be older people. I had a coworker at work who didn't understand subscribing. He thought you had to pay for it and stuff like that, but it is completely free. All it does is notify you when we have new videos and stuff like that. It literally costs you nothing. Takes 2 seconds to hit that subscribe button, and it means the world to us. And if you need to get a hold of us for any other reason, you can email us at twilightgnome59@gmail.com. And also, if you want to, while you're on the YouTube page, if you can go over to the post section and check out Tyler's poll, giggity.
Yeah.
He's dropping them every Tuesday. We love having you guys interact with those. This week, we have what?
This week's poll is all about what is your favorite category of Twilight Zone episodes. Right now, with 38%, it is time travel episodes in the lead, which is very
Relevant.
fitting. Yeah, now that we are in a 5 block of time episodes.
Right. All right, my final question for you, Tyler. If you could tell your past self one sentence, you can only say one sentence, and it cannot be about invest in Google or something stupid like that. So you go back to like when you're 18, you can't say invest. It can't be like a financial advice.
Oh, I have to be telling my 18-year-old self this?
Or what? I guess what age would you go back to? Would you go back to like 5 and scare yourself? Hey, little guy.
I'd probably go back to like around middle school and say, don't take school so seriously. Like, you don't need to get stressed out and like I know this is probably longer in the sense. I'd probably just say, don't take school too seriously. Not to completely fuck around, but like you don't.
Words. That could be dangerous because then you come back to the present and you're like a heroin addict or something. You're like, fuck, what? My future self said don't fucking care about school.
And I definitely feel like I spent way too much time like stressing out and doing homework, and like so many people fucked off and didn't do it, and they ended up just fine.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
What about you? What would you tell your past self?
Don't take any wooden nickels. Imagine you get an opportunity like that and you just completely fucking
waste it.
Don't go spending any wooden nickels, kid.
Boo.
All right, a good one. I mean, I have serious ones, but kind of too serious.
All right. You don't feel like sharing them with the audience here?
Nah, I like to be open with you guys, but there's some things I probably shouldn't share on the air.
All right.
Well, on that note, spur of the moment, huh? I bet everyone has something that you'd wish you could tell your past self, but unfortunately, all we have is tomorrow, like Paul Driscoll said in last week's episode. So,
I mean, also kind of like what Rod says in this at the end of this one.
Did he? He kind of starts getting word salady, and I
actually really liked his outro in this one, where like he kind of says to the point of like, once today has gone by and it's no longer today and it's yesterday, then if those words of yesterday were unheeded, then there's nothing you can do.
Right. All right, Ty. Well, until then, is there anything you want to say to our dear, dear Gnomies out there?
Yes. Thank you all for taking the time to step into the Twilight Gnome with us.
It's 4 o'clock, the howling man is gone. Frisbee's telling stories, Mr. Dingle's strong. There's time enough for the real Martian to stand up. Next stop, will it be little girl is lost? There's something on the wing, Walter Jameson won't live long. Feel like I'm 5 characters in search of exit. Help, I'm slipping into the twilight known. Luckily on Thursday we leave for home. The chemists came and gave beauty to behold. Where's everybody? Get Axel Tyler on the phone. Now you're listening to the Twilight Known. Till next Friday night, you won't be alone. Till then, just keep watching your favorite TV show. Take it, Mr. Serling. The Twilight Zone. Listen hard and long. The Twilight Known. Listen hard and long. The Twilight Known.
All right, so every week Tyler shows me a picture of his ass.
Now you can't stop thinking about it.
All right, so every week Tyler picks the episodes. He does so by showing me an AI-generated picture. I have to guess what it is. I play a little game here.